the gladiator mentality, and people look at us like, okay, really? Or, yeah, really.
All right, let's do this. Diamond Envy Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler McComas. Diamond Envy is always brought to you by Cavens Group. Check them out, cavensgroup.com. We will forever think of today as the Kelly Maxwell legacy game. Oh my goodness. 28 was special in the circle today. Just when she had a lot of doubters, no one was really sure if you could trust her in the Women's College World Series. Kelly Maxwell just shut up a lot of people and made a lot of people believers today because she just delivered, in my opinion, definitely one of the best performances of the year for OU softball. I think maybe the single best pitching performance that OU has seen all year long. Fantastic, fantastic. What a day that was. OU beats UCLA 1-0. The only run that was scored today was a Tiare Jennings home run, which obviously is the biggest moment offensively today. But the key story is real easy, guys. And if you're in here, I see some people already live on YouTube with me. Drop some comments here, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Would love to hear everyone's thoughts on the game. But I'm going to guess that your thoughts are pretty much what I'm thinking right now. Kelly Maxwell was special, and her last two starts weren't. 10 combined walks in the past two games. She was not sharp. She was not getting on top of hitters. She wasn't a lot of things in her last two starts, but today, and her biggest, I was a little bit surprised that she got the start today. Like, full disclosure, I thought that it was going to be Nicole May today. So 30 minutes before the game, when we find out that it's going to be Kelly Maxwell, I write down, this is the biggest start of Maxwell's career, at OU anyway, and maybe the biggest start of her collegiate career. Very interested to see what she was going to do, and she let us know early on. She let us know really early on that she was going to be an absolute command today and deliver. Look, I think it's her greatest performance as an OU pitcher. And given the circumstance, where we're at in this tournament, just kind of where we're at in the season, people doubting her, I think it could be the greatest performance she's had as a collegiate pitcher thus far. Glenn is already hitting us up. Good to hear from you, Glenn. Great pitchers duel. Kelly Maxwell was fantastic, especially against Maya Brady. It was good to see OU win a low-scoring game. Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic point, Glenn, as always. I know Glenn's probably going to be at the baseball game tonight, but OU won a game earlier this week where they just flexed offensively and won in a 5-inning run rule. They won 9-1 and beat a good Duke team in 6 innings, 9-1. And the story of that game was the offense. Well, that wasn't the best performance from the offense today. Some of the worries that we had earlier on in the year about leaving runners on base, that came back today. They were getting on base, felt like enough. They just weren't getting those big hits when they need to. But it was the pitching today that won the game. And I think that you love to see that if you're an OU fan, that you're seeing that this team in multiple ways can win games. They played 2 games so far this tournament. They're 2-0. Guys, they are in the catbird seat right now. 2-0 in this tournament is where you want to be because now they've got to win one of the next 2 games, and they're going on to the championship series. I'm not going to say that today is the single biggest game that you can have in the Women's College World Series. I think if you end up clinching a national championship, that clearly is the most important game. But today's game is one of the most important. It's massive. It can set you up for the rest of the tournament. It puts you in a spot, like I said, where you don't have to win 3 straight. You just have to win one of the next 2. And now your pitching is really set up here. You get a day off tomorrow. You don't play until Monday afternoon. That's why today's game was just so massive, guys. I mean, it was massive. It was massive there for Kelly Maxwell, who had some doubters after Thursday's game, to have a start like that. There ain't no question who the ace is right now. There's no question who's going to get the ball in the biggest games here moving forward. But now she gets a day off. And Nicole May and Kirsten Deal, you didn't need them today. You didn't need those pitchers today, but you get a day off, and you're going to go into this thing 3 wins away from winning a national championship where your team and your pitchers are really, really fresh. Because I don't know how many of you live in Oklahoma or around the Oklahoma City area, but dude, it is humid. It is hot today. That can take a toll on a position player, not just a pitcher. So to get out the way that you did today was, I mean, it was huge. It was just a big day, just a really, really big day for this team. And as you can tell, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. I'm sure you are as well. We got some comments already rolling in here. Again, hit us up in the chat. MIW says Maxwell's finest hour. Carry on, Sooners. I mean, yeah. I think that's the story today, obviously. But I definitely think it's the story of the tournament thus far. Because if you get the Kelly Maxwell that started against Duke, if you have the Kelly Maxwell that started against Florida State, and I don't want to say that she was bad because I was even defending her after those starts, but that Kelly Maxwell, the previous two starts, OU doesn't win that game today because the offense didn't just pick up the slack enough to score 7, 8, 9 runs to win this game. And I'm not going to be too hard on the offense here. I still got a lot of confidence in them moving forward. You should have had a 2-run homer. It was an unbelievable play by the center fielder. I don't know how many center fielders make that play, but it's all about Kelly Maxwell today. 7 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, guys. 11 strikeouts. So there was nothing fluky about today. And I had a video earlier this week. I gave my 5 biggest reasons why OU was going to win another national championship. And if you saw that video, I said the defense was number one. Defense was going to be the number one reason why this team was going to win another national championship. And after the first game against Duke, that prediction was looking pretty good because defensively, that was elite. And defensively, you were fine today. They weren't bad, but you had a ball hit off of Linus Torres' face. I hope she's okay, by the way. You had a play by Avery Hodge where, she didn't get the ball to the first baseman on time. That was going to be a tough play anyway. The point is, here's really the point. The point is that Kelly Maxwell was so good that you can't sit here today and say, well, yeah, she was good. She didn't allow any runs because the defense behind her was fantastic. You can't say that today. There's one reason and one reason alone why Kelly Maxwell was so good today, and it was because of Kelly Maxwell. 11 strikeouts, just 2 hits allowed. That is a good UCLA team. That's a really good UCLA team. Maya Brady is one of the best players in the country. Kelly Maxwell struck her out 3 times and got her to roll over on a ground ball to end the game today. Like, I can't put into words how impressive that was today with the heat like it was, the pressure like it was, game on ABC, the entire country watching, and she delivered, man. She delivered. There were some doubters out there, but I bet she shut up a lot of doubters for sure. All right, more comments rolling in. Tanya Shipman. Good to hear from you, Tanya. Just a simple old Boomer Sooner. Nothing wrong with a little Boomer Sooner on a Saturday afternoon, right? Drop those comments in. Appreciate everyone joining in here on the live chat. We got a bunch of people in right now, so would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about this game. If you're listening on the traditional audio form of the podcast, Tyler McComas on YouTube. I'm going to be going live right after every single OU softball game here in the postseason. So going to be fun. Join, set the alerts, everything else. But man, I mean, how about that? You were going to feel good today, regardless of what the win was going to look like. Because again, this is one of the biggest games of the tournament. It just sets you up so well to get in the championship series. You just got to win one of the next 2 now. Win one of the next 2, and you'll be 2 wins away from your 4th consecutive national championship. And today just goes a long way. I mean, it's just one of those wins that getting the championship game is one thing. Having a well-rested team, having a well-rested pitching staff is another, and that's what you did today. But more than anything, and I really think more than anything today, Kelly Maxwell's confidence level is at an all-time high. And I think this team's confidence level when she's in the circle is at an all-time high. And maybe you face UCLA again. Like, there's a chance that Maxwell's going to have to do that again against that same UCLA lineup. But you have a performance like that, and yeah, you already felt good about this team winning number 4 or 4th consecutive, number 8 overall. Now you really feel good today about things for sure. Man, just what a day. And I respect Maya Brady. Man, I respect Maya Brady. But she was 0 for 4 today with 3 Ks. Not a whole lot of pitchers in college softball are going to be able to hold Maya Brady to the day that she had today. Just to kind of roll down the game a little bit, I've spent 10 minutes here going on and on about how special Kelly Maxwell was. I'm sure I'll probably spend another 10 minutes, but just to go inning by inning here, You just felt it. You really felt it in the first inning. And I didn't say anything on social media. I'm just taking notes throughout the game. I didn't say anything on social media like, oh, looks like Kelly Maxwell's cooking tonight. This could be Kelly Maxwell's on the verge of one of her best starts. I didn't want to jinx it. I felt it. You probably felt it too. We can see it, right? We're used to greatness with this program. We can kind of see when something special is going on, but I didn't want to put it out there and jinx it. Turns out I was right, and we were right about the feeling today. But you could tell really early on that Kelly was on our game. Strikes out Maya Brady to start the game. Had another K, back-to-back Ks to start this game. The bobble at first to allow a 2-out base runner, and that's a little bit of a momentum shift early in the game, right? And that could maybe lead to UCLA really threatens in the first, but it didn't. Ground out to the second baseman after that, then you're out of the inning. After that top of the first, and it felt really good, after the bottom of the first, Jada has that 9-pitch walk, TRA singles, it's first and second, and it's like, all right, here you go. Here's where you're about to do some damage here against this UCLA staff. And they had a big missed opportunity in the bottom of the first inning. I felt like OU really had a chance to grab the momentum in the bottom of the first inning. Not that it would have been over or anything, but if you grab 2 runs right there, then you're really set up and you're really feeling good here moving forward. But they get runners on first and second, nobody out. They don't cash in. We go to the top of the second. There's Kelly Maxwell again. That was a momentum shift. Getting out of the bottom of the first inning, that was a momentum shift for UCLA, and then they go 3 up, 3 down after that. So that's big. The momentum goes to the UCLA dugout after the bottom of the first inning, and Kelly Maxwell says, we're just going to go ahead and halt that momentum right there. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the second inning, nothing really doing for OU. Top of the third, and here's what I really want to hit on, and maybe more than anything, outside the 11 strikeouts or the 2 hits, here's where I thought Kelly Maxwell was fantastic. And I'm going back and I'm looking at my notes right now. This happened in the top of the third. This happened in the 5th. This happened in the 6th as well. There were innings today, and she only allowed 2 hits, but there were a few innings today where UCLA threatened. UCLA got a leadoff runner on. UCLA had runners at first and second and 1 out. And man, like, you hear the term a lot when you talk about pitchers who, you know, when runners are on base, that's when they're really at their best. Bulldog, kind of a bulldog mentality. She's being a bulldog out there in the circle today. That's what Kelly Maxwell was. Because in the top of the third, she hits a batter. Okay, not great. Then you have the runner that steals second base. Elena Torres dropped that one. Probably should have been an out. Then a walk after that. So she's had 2 fantastic innings back to back. But then here's UCLA, score tied at 0. Runners at first and second with nobody out. 2 on, no outs. She strikes out Maya Brady. You have the infield fly after that hits off of Torres' face. Now you got runners at second and third with 2 outs. And then she gets out of that inning with a strikeout. Every time she needed to be clutch today. Every time she needed to be nails. Every time that she needed to look like a bulldog out there. That's what she did. She was so clutch and so good in the biggest moments of the game. Because that stat line can be a little bit deceiving. Well, UCLA struck out 11 times today, and they only had 2 hits, and they didn't score a run. Probably not a whole lot doing on the base pass. UCLA did get runners on base, and some of that was because Kelly made a mistake or 2 where with a hit batter or a leadoff walk like she had in the top of the 5th inning, but she always came back strong. So you get out of that top of the third with no damage, and then the bottom of the third, TRA Jennings hits the home run. And that was one of those home runs where you kind of knew off the bat, yeah, that one's gone, that one's out of here. So TRA hits her 96th career home run, which is 3rd all time. I mean, we just had the Mount Rushmore discussion earlier this week. I'm not saying that she's on it, but TRA Jennings needs to get heavy consideration for the OU Softball Mount Rushmore Award. But that was clearly the biggest offensive play of the day, the only run scored. And then you had the robbed home run after that. Felt like OU was about to go up 3-0. Then you think, oh, UCLA's really in trouble. So that got the momentum back to UCLA's side a little bit, even though OU had just taken the lead. So it was just a day. And man, in front of a national TV audience, and if you really care about the growth of this sport, and you really care about this sport just continuing to trend up and up, was that not an unbelievable game for the entire country to see? I mean, it was fantastic. I don't know what the numbers will do, but I'm sure the numbers at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon are going to be great. A 1-0 game where there's some incredible defensive plays. You had the big home run, Kelly Maxwell being the star. I mean, that was a big time showing today for college softball. Big time showing with the two biggest programs, the two best programs battling it out like that, two blue bloods. That was a heck of a display just for the sport of softball, period. But the robbed home run gives the momentum back to UCLA, and then you go strikeout, and then you go UCLA gets a single after that, but just nothing doing, nothing doing. And OU's offense really struggled to get things going on, but then you go to the fifth, leadoff walk, a bunt out, then a strikeout after that. She just stranded runners all day long. Stranded runners all day long. And then when it got to the sixth inning, the top of the sixth inning, it's like, all right, 6 outs away. 6 outs away. And some had been critical of Kelly Maxwell in the past of, well, we saw her at Oklahoma State. You know, she might be trending towards a really nice start to start the game. But in the 6th and 7th inning, when the pressure is really on, the lights were bright, that's when maybe Kelly Maxwell isn't at her best. The lights have never been brighter in Kelly Maxwell's career than it was today. A national TV audience, ABC was watching. If you're new to this game, I can't tell you how big of a deal that was that you had a national TV audience like ABC. ESPN Plus, you watch a lot of games this year. If you're on ESPN or ESPN2, that's a big deal. But to be on ABC, which has only been happening for a few years now, it's a massive deal. The lights have never been brighter for Kelly Maxwell in the circle, and it was her finest hour. Just like Glenn said earlier today, earlier in the chat, it was Kelly Maxwell was fantastic. It was her finest hour today. So when we talk about this tournament, whatever happens here, if OU goes on to win another national championship game, and I do think that we're going to have some epic moments here moving forward, but we'll bring up today because today will stand as one of the most important tournament games that this team's going to have as they roll towards the championship series, one game away to the championship series. Felt like the game today. The 2 seed, the 6 seed, the two blue bloods going at it. Man, heck of a showcase. Heck of a showcase for college softball. Do you guys have saw a girl in an OU Colorado 04 Big 12 championship game shirt? It was awesome. Do you guys have weird friends too, like me, or is that just me? Yeah, I got weird friends as well. Keep the keep the comments coming. Everyone's just in a good mood. Everyone's just in a good mood right now, you know? Boomer Sooners all around for everyone. And now you just get to, and here's what's great about a 2 p.m. game on a Saturday afternoon. Texas and Florida play later on tonight. And if you're watching this on the YouTube stream, you'll see it. If you're listening on the traditional audio source you want. I'm sitting back a little bit right now for the audio viewers here. I'm just sitting back. I'm relaxed. I'm going to have me a nice Saturday. Why? Because my team's good. My team's great. My team's won 2 games. It's all good. My team didn't play until Monday afternoon, and all they got to do is win one of the next 2 games, and they're going to the national championship series. The vibes are extremely strong right now, as you can imagine here. But, yeah. And by the way, there were just some under-the-radar things that happened today that won't be the main story, but I really wanted to highlight. Another game, another big game. Another game where Riley Boone has an incredible bunt single. And it won't amount to much at the end of it, and no one's really going to talk about it. But it's the bottom of the 6th inning. There's 2 outs. There's nobody on. And you're really thinking to yourself at that time, like, you'd like to be greedy, but it's more of, all right, let's just get 3 more outs, and let's win this game 1-0. I'm totally fine with winning this game 1-0. Riley Boone actually had other plans. Every single game, she has an amazing bunt single. And we talk so much about this player is the greatest at this. Jada Coleman's the greatest defensive player in OU softball history. Kinsey Hansen is one of the most clutch players in OU softball history. Riley Boone is one of the best bunters in OU softball history because every single game she's able to get on base with the bunt single, and it happened again in the bottom of the 6th. And again, like, it's not going to amount to much at the end of the day. All it's going to amount to is a hit on the score sheet. That's it. But it's just really going to suck when Riley Boone is not in an OU uniform anymore. It's really going to suck when Riley Boone's not in an OU uniform. So I definitely wanted to highlight that. Just looking up and down at some of my other notes that I had here. I mentioned it a couple of times already, but I hope Alina Torres is okay. I mean, that was a high sun today. She just lost it, and that was like right off the cheekbone. She didn't come back in the game. Hopefully she's all right because she's been really good here in the postseason. I mean, she hit a mammoth bomb against Duke on Thursday night. So hopefully all is well with her. Hopefully she's able to come back on Monday because you want her bat in the lineup. And not that Avery Hodge can't do some things for you offensively. I think she absolutely can. But Alina Torres right now she's just giving you some power that, that Avery Hodge just can't give you right now. So and by the way, not only offensively, defensively, she was excellent Thursday against Duke as well. So you want her defensively in the lineup, but you really want her bat in the lineup as well. But man, you guys know the story today, just like I do. You're watching this video live. We got a bunch of people, the most people we've ever had for a live stream. So thank you. And I'm sure that you're pretty excited as well. If you're new to the channel, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment, all of that. But I appreciate you guys joining me on this Saturday afternoon. Sure, a lot of you are pumped up right now. I've got several comments here where people are pumped up about this game. But I am, man. I continue to say this, and it's almost like a tradition now when I record after a game. So I can't stop the tradition now. But I feel better and better about this team the more that I've seen them in the postseason play. Better and better I feel about this team winning another national championship. And I think it's pretty clear now. I thought this was the case, but it's definitely the case now. Something happened that Sunday at the Oklahoma State game. And I think it showed what this team was really all about because they had a decision to make. They had a decision to make of, well, what are you going to do here? Are you going to defend your home turf, your last home game for a lot of these seniors? You've lost the series against Oklahoma State, but how are you going to bounce back here? You just going to roll over and let Oklahoma State sweep you and just say it wasn't our weekend? Or are you going to fight back or are you going to battle back? And they fought back and they looked really good in that Sunday win over Oklahoma State. And they've been rolling ever since. Haven't lost a game since then. And they've beaten some really, really good teams since that Sunday game against Oklahoma State. Which, by the way, speaking of Oklahoma State, they play tonight? They play tomorrow? I just ask because I just heard. I was told that OU has an unfair advantage in this tournament. It's super unfair that Oklahoma gets to play in this tournament. Well, Oklahoma State's less than an hour up the road. Stillwater's less than an hour away from Oklahoma City. They didn't win a game in this thing. So I'm just wondering, to all the haters out there that think that this game, or this tournament's way too unfair because OU's just down the street. Oklahoma State's just up the street, and they didn't win a game this regular season. So I just want us all to be consistent on what we say. But there it is right there. That's the comment. Maxwell's finest hour. And there have been players recently who have only been here 1 year, but they're still beloved by this fan base. And you probably know where I'm going with this one. I immediately think of Alex Storako when I think of that. Alex Storako's at the games now. She's doing a whole lot of media appearances. Kelly Maxwell may have just kind of entered that territory where, not that anyone disliked her or anything like that, but almost to legend status after that game today, and especially if she carries this team to a championship. Because now as you look forward, what are your options here moving forward? That's the great thing about continuing to win in this tournament is you continue to get a day off and keeping everything fresh, keeping this team fresh, keeping the staff fresh, just keeping everyone ready to go with that day off. Because, guys, it's hot in OKC. It's June in OKC. It's hot and it's humid. I don't need to read a weather forecast to tell you that. It's really damn hot and it's really damn humid out here. So forget the pictures. If you can just get everyone a day off in between games, that's big. I'm interested to see who Patty goes with in the circle here the next game. I'm going to guess it's not Kelly Maxwell, but maybe you just ride the hot hand after that performance. Maybe that's how you go about this. Hell, maybe Kelly Maxwell just starts every game until you go win a national championship. Fascinated by tonight's game, Texas and Florida. God, I hate Texas. And the good Lord knows that I can't stand Mike White. I will be Gator chomping tonight. I'm not chanting SEC. I'm not that guy. I ain't going to do that. But I will be rooting for the University of Florida tonight. But what do I really think is going to happen? I think Texas is probably going to win. Guys, I think we could be on a collision course for our most hated opponent and our most hated opposing head coach. I think we're trending towards an OU Texas championship series. And for content, like for what I'm doing every single day on YouTube and the radio show and all that, for content alone, that's fantastic. I don't want to see Texas have any success in this thing. And as much fun as it would be to beat Texas in a championship series, I don't wish anything positive on the University of Texas. But man, that'd be pretty fulfilling if you beat that dork Mike White once again for a national championship. At this point, even though you're 1 win away, I'll take any opponent that's out there. But beating Mike White, I'm not going to outwardly root for it. There ain't no way. This guy never be throwing a horns up. That ain't going to happen. But beating Mike White in a championship series, man, it'd be pretty fulfilling. I'm going to stay on here for a couple of minutes more, just in case any of you want to throw in any comments that's out there. I see Blue Sparrow Therapy Consulting. Go check them out, by the way. They do great work. Sooner, no Boomer present, just a Sooner. That's okay. I would think that you would throw the Boomer first, then I would throw the Sooner. Well, that's fine. Vibes are high right now. Just throw the Sooner. But Brian hits us up and says, Mike White eats tacos with a fork. amongst other dorky things as well. I mean, the dude, is he the worst third base coach of all time? He's got a good softball team. They're the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. I don't think they're the best team in this tournament, but they're the number 1 overall seed in this thing, and the dude keeps messing up at third base. Hey, but at least Mike White gets to play in a stadium that doesn't have trash in it, like his own stadium in Austin. They have to remove little boards there, and there's trash all behind it. Jeez. Yeah. I'm not rooting for that guy to make it to the championship series, but God, it'll be fun. He might throw a middle finger up to the stands again. Maybe he says something about Patty Gasso once again, but he's the villain. He's the villain. I even got a text a couple of days ago that said that they hated Mike White more than they hate Lincoln Riley. That's how strong it is right now. Brian says his accent is okay, I suppose. Yeah, he didn't call Patty Gasso a cheetah or cheater. He called Patty Gasso a cheetah. I didn't say she was a cheetah. That's what he said at that time. Patty Gasso ain't cheating right now. She's got her team rolling. Rolling. They won a game because of the offense on Thursday. They won a game because Kelly Maxwell was fantastic. And you guys were fantastic today, by far and away. The most that I've had in a live stream, which is great. The comments have been fantastic. Brian says Mike White is to softball as LeBum James is to the NBA. I love that. I love all the Mike White slander. But yeah, gonna do another video tomorrow morning. OU's got a day off. This guy ain't got a day off. I'm going to be doing another video maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. I'll have that one out tomorrow afternoon. Got some YouTube shorts out as well, which I declare that Jada Coleman is the greatest defensive player, not in OU history, but in college softball history. It's a hot take. It's a really hot take. I made the claim. I said it. I'm not backing off of it either. You know why? Because not one person has flinched and not one person has pushed back and said I'm wrong about that. And I said leave in the comments, if not Jada Coleman, who else? Nobody's been fighting me on it because I think everyone agrees with me that Jada Coleman is the greatest defensive center fielder in college softball history. Though Grace Lyons was pretty good. If anyone could challenge Jada Coleman to that, it could be the former Sooner shortstop, Grace Lyons. Jada Coleman is the straight-up truth. Yeah, she is the straight-up truth. And she had a really good first at-bat today with that 9-pitch walk that really got things going. But as we move forward here, got to be better with runners in scoring position. That's just kind of you want to hit on any sort of a negative today, and it's hard to do that. Like, guys, in no way am I going to complain about a win this time of year. I've told you that over and over and over again. I'm not going to start today. I'm not going to complain about any win, but let's just see them hit a little bit better, timely hits with runners in scoring position. Because think about it this way. If you combine what we've seen the first two games, if you take Thursday's offense, match it up with today's pitching, and then sprinkle on top Thursday's defense as well, dude, no one's beating this team the rest of the way through. No one's beating this team. And someone's going to have to beat this team twice. Think about that. Someone's going to have to beat this team twice now for this team not to make a championship. Whether it's to get to the championship series, they got to win one of their next two, or in the championship series, someone's going to have to beat this team twice. The same team is going to have to beat this team 2 out of 3 games. Good luck to you. I don't see it happen, especially if you get the Kelly Maxwell that you got today. A win over a historic team is a good day at the office. Yeah, it was, Brian. And I'm going to close it up there. Appreciate you guys as always. Again, please like and subscribe. Whole lot more softball content coming your way over the weekend and on into next week. Love you as always. We'll talk to you soon.